He gave his all. Oh, won't you hear and heed his loving call? He offers you a perfect hiding place. He warmly urges you to receive his gift of grace. It was for you. He gave his all. It was for you, my friend. For you. For you.
Good afternoon. We welcome you to worship with us on this fourth Sunday of May the 24th, 2020. We planned for our service to be held today in our memorial garden at the back of our facility, but we're having a rain shower, and so we've decided to set up here by the strong four columns at the front of our church. And this lovely oriental maple is the background, and perhaps our videographer, Josiah Key, can get some still shots in the garden a little later on and add to it. We want to worship with the words of Psalm 104. But before we read that text, may I give thanks, offer appreciation to others who've helped. Sandy Faust with prelude and instrumentation for a piece that Kelly Smith and her parents, Larry and Rita Sanders, have done that you will view as you watch this video presentation. A memorial garden was put on this property in the mid 20th century. Don't know the exact date at this moment. Put there to respect loved ones who had been workers in this church and to bring a place of solace, quiet, solitude for people to come and worship, draw near to God, and remember their loved ones. And this being Memorial Day weekend, it seemed appropriate to gather in that garden. I look out my office window upon our memorial garden every week, and I watch the change in the seasons that happen there. From the bleak, dark days of winter, I began to see just a faint change on the buds of the silver maple tree on our neighbor's lawn just next to us, becoming light pink and then beginning to swell and get a little larger. And then before long, I'll see some shoots. They're either daffodils or jonquils, and then those green shoots are followed by a yellow flower. It isn't long that we begin to see a little greening on the lawn, and then some red buds coming out on our red bud trees. And of course, a real highlight is when the white dogwood and the pink dogwood bloom, and then the leaves come out on the oriental red maples that we appreciate so much in our garden. If you have an opportunity in the next weeks, we're going to be placing a little container there with a prayer guide for people that are interested to come, read scriptures, read a prayer guide, sit in quietness and appreciate the sanctity of our garden and to worship God there. So watch for that. We'll have a picture of it on next week's video. But today I'm going to be bringing to you thoughts from Psalm 104 because it's a psalm that talks about creation, the beautiful things of creation that I just have expressed that we enjoy in our memorial garden. Psalm 104 begins, "Bless the Lord, O my soul. O Lord my God, you are very great. You are clothed with honor and majesty. Then there is a glorious description, in many ways parallel to the description of creation in the book of Genesis, how God brought forth dominion over the waters and brought forth the earth on the waters. Then there is this encouragement to look around and to give thanks to God. Verse 24, O Lord, how manifold are your works. In wisdom you have made them all. The earth is full of your creatures. Then there is a description of some of the things that the Lord has made throughout this psalm. For example, it says, verse 16, the trees of the Lord are watered abundantly, the cedars of Lebanon that he planted. In them the birds build their nests. He also says, from your lofty abode you water the mountains. The earth is satisfied with the fruit of your works. He says, you cause the grass to grow for the cattle and plants for people to use to bring forth food from the earth. Then he mentions, I think rather colorfully, 3 items of our diet. Let me find this place. You bring forth food from the earth. Then he says, wine to gladden the hearts of man, oil to make face to shine, and bread to strengthen the human heart. Look around, receive, and appreciate all that the Lord has given. He says of the creatures that he has made, these all look to you to give them their food in due season. When you give to them, they gather it up. When you open your hand, they are filled with good things. When you hide your face, they are dismayed. When you take away their breath, they die and return to the earth. When you send forth your spirit, they are created, and you renew the face of the ground. We are praying for renewal on our earth at this time, renewal from the threat of death from the pandemic of COVID-19. Continue in your prayers for the well-being of us on the earth at this time. Then there is a turn in the psalm to prayer, the prayer of praise to God. May the glory of the Lord endure forever. May the Lord rejoice in his works, who looks on the earth and it trembles, who touches the mountains and they smoke. Isn't it interesting? It says, may the Lord rejoice in his works. And surely in all the variety that we have on the earth, the Lord himself rejoices and even chuckles at all the many, many things. And in our ocean depths, we are still finding things that have never been discovered before. Then the prayer turns to our personal response in this psalm. I will sing to the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praise to my God while I have my being. May my meditation be pleasing to him, for I rejoice in the Lord. I remember some youth years ago put those words to song. If I were a good musician like Kelly and Larry and Rita, I'd sing that. But just think of verse 33 and 34 of Psalm 104 as a potential for song. Then the conclusion is a challenge for us to take our place in honoring God who has created all these things. May my meditation be pleasing in your sight, for I rejoice in the Lord. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Praise the Lord. Amen.